Hi, and welcome to Coin Toss, the show where we respectfully and vigorously discuss the big questions within our modern, financialized, and increasingly tokenized world. I'm Adam B. Levine, CoinDesk's managing editor of podcasts and the host of Coin Toss. Today, as we watch much of the crypto world crash to lower prices, at least temporarily, we've got a special one-on-one episode. This time, we're digging into the worldview of one of Dogecoin's most public advocates. And no, I'm not talking about the Tesla guy. We're honored to be joined by Glauber Contesoto, better known on YouTube as the Dogecoin Millionaire or Pro the Doge, who went all in on the top meme token earlier this year to impressive results. Bro, welcome to the show.
What's going on, man? Happy to be here.
It's great to have you. We're going to play a clip real quick from a special day for you, if we can get that up there.
I just became a millionaire by spending all my money on Dogecoin.
YOLO!
Okay, so the official date is April 15th at 6 p.m. is when I actually crossed over that mark of $1 million on my Robinhood account with all of my Dogecoin. 69 days. That's how long it took me. 69 days. I'm not even kidding. Like, that's actually the number of how many days it took me. This was me searching.
So 69 days, that was a defining moment. You made a bet, you were right, you won. What were you thinking when that happened?
Man, it was just a flood of emotions. I don't even, you can't even put it into words, honestly. Like, I've just, worked really hard my entire life. And I was just, laying up in bed, staring at my phone. And I was like, it's today. Today is the day. I am a millionaire today, and I am 33 years old. I'm sitting up in my bed, and I'm a millionaire. It was unbelievable, man.
So now contrast that with today. Today, again, it's not just Doge that's going down, it's everything that's going down. And honestly, Doge is holding up better, I think, than many people expected. So, How do you feel about things today? What has changed for you since that time, just a couple of months ago?
Man, so much has changed, so much. And it's funny because I never expected any of it. I remember it started with the Reddit post that I made. I was just excited. I was just happy that this had happened. So I just made a post and it went viral. And, 70,000 upvotes. All of a sudden, CNBC's hitting me up. Forbes is hitting me up. Newsweek, New York Times. You know what I mean? It's just unbelievable. And now I've been kind of thrust into the spotlight in a way where people really look up to me now, and they want to know what I'm doing and what I would do in this situation or how my portfolio looks today. And it's humbling, man. It really is.
So it's an interesting time kind of in all of this. And incidentally, congratulations on the New York Times article and podcast. I listened to it, and I've actually been following your YouTube channel for a while now. I have come to believe that you kind of embody or are sort of an avatar for the moment that we're in right now, right? That this thing that's happening is bigger than individuals. And so what I'd really like to do today with the limited time that we have is explore a little bit of how you kind of look at things beyond Dogecoin and kind of what led you to make the decisions, not necessarily specifically around the investment, but just kind of around kind of the worldview that you've developed over the last number of years from your position. So I guess I kind of want to start with this. You mentioned that you've worked really hard for a lot of years. When I talk to a lot of people these days, kind of the question is how many hustles do you have, right? How many different things are you working on at any given time that you think might be your ticket to actually being able to make it? So without going too much into what you've actually done, just talk to me about that. Talk to me about sort of the broad opportunities that you see out there and, whether or not you really see any of them, right? What's kind of the path if you're not going to do the Dogecoin thing to accomplish a comparable level of financial independence?
Honestly, man, I vividly remember myself Googling how to become a millionaire because I don't know, and I don't know any millionaires, So I just Googled it to try to figure out what exactly, how do these people make it? And the first thing I saw was that the majority of millionaires have anywhere from 6 to 7 streams of income at least. So what does that mean? That means that my one job that I have that I'm working a 9 to 5, that's not going to be enough to cut it. So I'm looking at different hustles. I'm doing freelance gigs on the weekends. I'm doing red carpet events. I'm doing videos for other people's YouTubes and editing and doing photography. I'm literally doing as many things as I possibly can just to increase, the income coming in. And from there, I started to invest. And I also read about millionaires, investing in the stock market. And those are one of the things that I figured, okay, if I want to get to that level, this is what I need to start doing.
So, I mean, what was your experience with the stock market? And I mean, are you still in the stock market? It seems like you've kind of gone all in on Doge. So sort of what was the kind of math that led you to make that decision versus, the more traditional approach of the stock market?
Well, I started in the stock market around 2019 in the springtime. And the first stock that I ever bought was Tesla. So, I went from Tesla, I bought a little bit of Uber, I bought some Nikola, I bought some Carnival Cruise Lines, Revolve. So I've dabbled in the stock market a little bit, but it wasn't until the GameStop fiasco that happened with Robinhood that I took a hard look. And I realized that if this can happen with GameStop, it can happen with another stock. It's not as free trade as we like to believe it or call it. It's a lot more behind the scenes that we're unaware of. So that was pretty much the catalyst that made me decide, okay, there's got to be a different way to invest my money, and I need to get out of the stock market.
So when you were picking stocks, when you were selecting those, or kind of when you think about investments generally, what are the criteria that you're thinking about? How do you measure whether or not something is a good thing to put your money into?
I try to find stocks that I believe are undervalued. So whenever I go into a stock, or whenever I would go into a stock, I would look at it like, okay, where do I see this company 2 to 5 years from now? I try not to get into a stock or a pick thinking I'm going to make a quick flip, right? Or thinking, I'm going to wait a month and then sell it. I'm always looking for stocks that I believe have longevity and the company has room to grow. And I feel like eventually it'll just be worth more in the future. So whenever I picked companies, that's what it was. And my stock picks would come from Googling as much as I could about a company, or looking up YouTube videos, or trying to do as much research as I could before even investing it in the first place.
Okay, so now let's contrast that with sort of your decision to go in on Doge. Kind of, was there a fundamental use case there that you saw, or was there a different criteria for judging that sort of investment?
Oh, there's similarities, but for the most part, Doge was completely different. So you got to understand, I had no prior knowledge of cryptocurrency before Doge. Doge was basically my entryway and the bridge into that world for me. And it's interesting because now I look at it as the same for other people. I look at Doge as the bridge from the regular world that we all live in, cash money, people working jobs, to cryptocurrency world. Doge is that bridge that kind of invites you in. It's not threatening. It's fun. It's happy. It's jokes. It's memes. It's a world that most of us are already familiar with on the meme side, right? So we share memes, we send memes, we receive memes all the time. We don't know who makes them. They just pop up and we share them. And this is the first time I'm seeing a meme be combined with the currency. So when somebody wants to go into the crypto world, they might be intimidated by a Bitcoin. They might be intimidated by an Ethereum and not really understand, what they do or anything about it. But when they see Doge, it's almost like a happy coin, that you can kind of get into it. It's cheap. You know what I mean? You can get a lot of Doge for a little bit of money and kind of be introduced into that world. So even if later on you buy Ethereum, or you buy Cardano, or you buy XRP, or any one of these other coins, you have a little bit of Doge because that's what got you started.
So, on the subject of Bitcoin for a second, a lot of people within sort of the Bitcoin world and the broader investing world too, think that the Federal Reserve plays a pretty decently sized role in how markets work. And, a lot of kind of the investment decisions around Bitcoin are justified based around what the government is going to do with monetary policy. What do you think about monetary policy or the Federal Reserve's role in sort of how all of these things work?
I believe they do play a big role. And what ends up happening is it creates that legitimacy, right? It creates that credibility for crypto when, big money comes in and wants to invest in it. So I feel like we're so early on as far as Doge is concerned, like they're starting to accept Bitcoin, but you saw how long it took Bitcoin to be around for that even to start happening, right? So now we're in the days of Doge, and the Doge isn't even a new crypto. It's been around since 2013, but we have the retail investor starting to invest in crypto, and the crypto that they're choosing to invest in is Doge. And so I feel like it's only a matter of time. It might be another year, it might be another few years, but it's only a matter of time before these bigger companies and institutions that are putting money into Bitcoin now start looking at Doge as something else to invest in.
So when you, again, with the decision to kind of go with Doge, like a lot of this stuff feels like it's been driven by celebrity influencers, right? Elon Musk, of course, but also lots of other people. And then most recently, yesterday or the day before, we saw Dave Portnoy come out talking about SafeMoon. How do you feel about kind of the role of influencers kind of in the environment? Is it a positive thing? Is it a negative thing? Is it a net neutral and doesn't matter?
I feel like influencers definitely play a role in the success of a crypto. In the case of Doge, we have Elon Musk, we have Mark Cuban, we have Snoop Dogg. I also believe it's a misconception just how big of a role they actually play. I do believe that it's a wonderful headline to put Elon Musk on a title of something, or Snoop Dogg on a title of something, or Mark Cuban, but what people don't realize is that Dogecoin has been around since 2013. So we're looking at about 8 years of no celebrity tweets. You know what I mean? No celebrity endorsements. And it's lived, it has lasting power. It's been around, it survived 2017, 2018, and it's here to stay. Dogecoin really, truly has a community as its backbone that has carried it all these years. So now that it's in the spotlight, it's only going to add more value to what was already there.
So I think the question here I want to ask is, how much does the technology matter, right? So you primarily have interacted with Doge over Robinhood, which is an application that doesn't really allow, it's a custodial application, right? So they're holding your Dogecoin. Have you ever sent a transaction on the Dogecoin network?
I actually haven't. That's an interesting thing. So with Robinhood, it was just an easy thing for me to move all my stocks and sell them all and just go into Doge directly within the platform. And, Robinhood does get a lot, of backlash in the media and the people because of, the lack of being able to move cryptocurrency in and out of its platform. But in Robinhood's defense, it's also been that bridge. Like a lot of people were in stocks and moved into Doge. It just made it that much easier. So I believe that eventually when they do open up the wallets and we can, move our cryptos in and out, it'll be much easier to make those transactions. As of right now, the majority, 99.9% of my money is in Robinhood. Once I realized that I wasn't able to move crypto in and out, that's when I decided to get other applications. I got Kraken, I got Binance, I got Crypto, the app, and I began buying my Doge there. And I also set up a wallet with Coinbase. A lot of people don't know this, but you can't buy Doge just yet on Coinbase, but they do have a separate application that's a wallet that you can hold the Doge in there. So some of my Doge is in there now. Everything I've been purchasing since Robinhood has been through these other exchanges, and I've moved them all to my wallet.
Well, folks, that's all the time we have for this episode of Coin Toss. Thanks again to Pro the Doge, whose journey you can follow on YouTube as the Dogecoin Millionaire. And to all of you watching at home, thanks very much. You can tune in every Wednesday at 7:30 a.m. Pacific, 10:30 a.m. Eastern for new discussions. And coming up, stay tuned for The Hash at 12 p.m. Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific. I'm Adam B. Levine, and until next week, keep the conversation going.